time for 20 in 10 with Martin Nash of York United. Great to see you, my man. Let's go. Give me a number 1 to 20.
11.
Number 11. How has Canada's success at the national team levels filtered down to your team and the exuberance heading into this year?
Yeah, I think there's just a ton of excitement about the national team and where soccer in Canada in general is going. And it just gives something for these players to look up to.
That's a fantastic answer. Great one. I'm glad I got that out of you because obviously being a former national team player, I'd love to speak to you more about that one day, and we will. Next number.
7.
How are you a different coach now than you were a year ago? And I know this is a little different because a year ago you weren't the main man. So maybe you can talk a little bit about the adjustment from being assistant in Cavalry to now being the main man at York.
Yeah, I think I think coaching wise, I'm not too much different, but there's a lot of changes in my role, just more to think about, more to have to do, and now leading the off-field group is that new challenge, and it's been fun and learning new things every day.
There you go, a smile on your face, and you're calling it fun, so it's working so far. Next number.
3.
Number 3. Which player has really caught your eye during a bright preseason?
Yeah, there's a few guys that have caught my eye. I really like Roger Thompson and what he's brought. Funny enough, being an older guy, he's been injured a little bit, but I think he's a really good leader, which I didn't realize he was so good at leading, and fantastic talker and a really good player.
Great answer. You got a lot of competition for places in that position as well at centre back in 2022 as well, so that'll certainly help spur them on. Next number.
5.
Number 5. One manager that you watch, read, or listen to closely from around the world. Is there a manager, a mentor you guys watch you in particular have learned a lot from?
One I like to is Pep. I think it's the same answer for a lot of people. Just the way he looks at the game, the way his team plays. It's just someone I think he's very interesting to watch videos about or read about, and not quite at that level, but it's a great person to learn from, I think.
Great one to look at and go right to the top, right? Sure. Yeah. Next number.
17.
Is there one game from 2021 you think about more than most? And I know you were with Cavalry at that point, but one that you thought about where you made an impact or one that stuck with you for a reason?
I think for the wrong reasons, the semifinal sticks with me because the sour taste in our mouth and just the little things that lost us the game, really. So that usually it is that way when you don't win it all. There's always a little bit of regret, and you look at those moments that where you didn't succeed.
More on that though, quickly. Would that help you with this team? Because this team you're with now also failed in the semifinal as well, and that's the next step, is it not? Those little moments, those little details in semifinals to get you over the hump.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was those fine little details that cost us last year. And I think it cost both teams last year, those fine little details, and all the little things matter. And it's making the players aware of that.
Great answer. Next number.
19.
19. Wheels or doors?
Oh,
You're a wheels or a doors guy? You've done this already, I know, but
the other week, I think when they was explained to me enough, I went with, I think the answer is wheels.
Wheels. All right. You're a wheels guy. All right. Next number.
Initially, but I've been brought around.
Well, I think a lot of your players have convinced you of that. That's one thing you'll let your players talk you into, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Next number, Martin.
16.
How would you describe your new primary kit? Your both kits are going to be coming out shortly. So how much are you enjoying the look of it?
Yeah, I like it. It looks sharp. It's I like the colors of it. The nice the city in the background, and the new sponsor in the front. It's a fantastic jersey. I really like it.
And I love that new crest behind you, by the way. I know I'm never getting used to that. I know it's not new anymore, but I just love that crest. Next number.
6.
Number 6. What excites you the most about your team heading into 2022?
I think just the youthful athleticism, and really, seeing how it's coming together now and seeing where it'll end up is it's going to be an exciting process, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the end product is.
Talk about the youth there. I'm going to follow up. You've got some real stars here, no? Some young stars who are obviously, the future is endless for these players.
Yeah, it is, and they got a ton of upside and a ton of enthusiasm, which is great to work with, and. There's a big learning curve too for some of them, but if they get it, they could be fantastic talents and move on to higher levels.
Isaiah Johnston, Max Ferrari, amongst others who were nominated last year, and I'm sure for the Young Player of the Year will be definitely part of that again going forward. Next number, please.
10.
Number 10. How will your team be better now the season is longer and you'll have more gaps in between games. Remember last year's a condensed schedule. How will you improve from that, and how much are you looking forward to that?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it a lot. I think, yeah, you can prepare for each team properly, whereas last year you couldn't really prepare for every team properly. You had to just kind of, put a Band-Aid over it and, okay, these are the strengths, here's the weaknesses quickly, and let's move on. And I think this year, especially with a young team, you can really work on some things through the week to make yourselves more solid, both sides of the ball.
And you can train more too, right? Where you can really impact the players.
And these players need a lot of training. They're, a lot of young players. They need that training time, between games, and it'll be good for them.
Excellent. Okay, 3 or 4 minutes left with Martin Nash here at York United, finding out more about his team and obviously in his rookie year going into 2022. Next number, please, Martin.
13.
13. Who's an underrated player now not on your team in the Canadian Premier League?
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Maybe Josh Hurd at Pacific. I don't think he's talked about as enough as from his production. So I think he's talented. He's dynamic. He looks to run in behind. He's good with the ball, and he has decent end product. So I think he's one that's done really well and definitely caught my eye.
Yeah, great answer. And CPL champion was marvelous that day for them at Tim Hortons Field in December as they won the trophy. Next number.
14.
14. What's your favorite sport other than soccer?
Oh, I'll say basketball, just for family reasons, but I also really like golf. So
okay,
golf's nice to clear your head and get away and be out in the nice fresh air.
So you like to play it better than watch it?
Yeah, I like to play it better than watch it. Like to watch basketball, but especially right now with the NCAA tournament on.
Yeah, that's a great excitement time as well. Next number.
1.
Number 1. What's one area from 2021 that you and your team at York felt you needed to improve on heading into the off season?
Personally, I think the team was very transitional last year, and I'd like them to be a little bit less transitional because in that case you get a bit too exposed at times. And they did a good job of dealing with it, but I think it'd be nicer if the team wasn't so exposed at times and a little bit less transitional.
So contain the possession of the ball a little bit more, have it a little bit more control, and I guess Hernandez helps with that as well, no?
Yeah, he would. So it's good. There's good possession players and good athletes, and sometimes with young athletes they just get carried away and just always want to go forward. So it can be hard to put the reins on at times, but trying to do so and try to control the ball a little bit more.
Very well said. A couple more minutes with you, Martin. Thanks again for this. Next number.
4.
Number 4. Who is the funniest player on your team? Who cracks you up the most?
There's a few. Kristian was pretty funny. Kristinovic and Saw, and he's a little bit different in his humor. So he's an interesting one. Nico Giantsalpas is an interesting one. You see him on social media and doing other things. He's got a good sense of humor. There's a few guys in this group that have a good sense of humor and have a good laugh off the pitch.
Awesome answers. Nico's great on social media, just a brilliant and an outstanding goalkeeper for you. I'm sure take the reins as the new number 1 this year. Probably time for one more. Let's get one more in.
8.
Number 8. Who is your favorite footballer of all time and why?
Still to this day is probably Glenn Hoddle. He was the club I supported. The family's from Tottenham. He was the first player I really looked up to and really tried to emulate, and did a lot of things that I tried to do in my game. He was 2-footed and had a good passing range and other things. So he's one I always looked up to. I thought he's a fantastic player. Had unbelievable accuracy with both feet, controlled the tempo of a game. And he was a bit of a master. He was kind of ahead of his time for the English game, to be honest. I don't think he got the dues he deserved with what he did with his ability in that era of the game.
What a great answer. I love that. I love that. I mean, again, another English star talent that never got appreciated enough, right? Left out of key World Cup squads and massive international breaks is just outrageously underappreciated. Martin, this has been a thrill for me. Thanks so much for this. I wish you and your team nothing but the best in the 2022 season, which will kick off with your team on Thursday the 7th. So we're looking forward to that as well. So all the best for 2022, and we'll chat soon.
All right. Thanks, Kristian.